For the 2020 Regional Science Olympiad from the campus of UNCW. I'm Ely Feldman.
And I'm Milo Kenny.
Events at Olympiad are categorized by educational goals.
Category 1 is concepts and knowledge. In some events, that category includes disease detectives and road scholar.
Category 2 is the process and thinking. Some of this year's Olympiad events are in the category of chemistry lab, write it, do it, and experimental design.
Finally, category 3 is application and technology. Some events found in this category include boomerlever and elastic launch gliders.
The application and technology category events are engineering-based events, which means that these students have to build a device and test it against other devices. These events are usually the most visual.
To see of these events happening right now, we send you to Thomas, who is at the boomerlever.
Hi, we're back at the Boomerlever section where a group is about to test their Boomerlever. We have already attached the chain that holds up the bucket. Oh, and they are going strong already. And they're okay. Now it seems like they're changing up the sand amount quite a lot just to test. Oh, and the Boomerlever has completely fallen into the bucket. That's wild. We haven't seen that yet at all. So this is a completely unique case. Their boomerlever actually was pretty well designed, and it seemed to held a phenomenal amount of sand. Now it seems like they're going to weigh the amount that the boomerlever held up, and right now they seem to be talking about minor issues. Right now it just seems like the major theory is that the top piece that holds up the boomerlever actually collapsed. So maybe if it was a little bit thicker, it might have worked better, but I don't know. I'm not a boomerlever expert. But it seems like their team actually did a really incredible job. They held up a good amount of weight, and it seemed to be fairly designed off of maybe like a bridge or a crane arm. But back to you.
Welcome back. As you can see, the contestants are getting ready.
All right. Tell her we're at Plains, but we're waiting. Let's go to the...
And they've had 2 successful launches, which puts them in a good spot to compete against all the other teams. It seems as if this is the last team competing for ping pong parachute, and I guess we will see the results as to which school receives first place in ping pong parachute later this day. All right, and that is it for ping pong parachute.
The state of North Carolina has a long history with Science Olympiad. In fact, the first recorded Science Olympiad competition was held in North Carolina in 1974.
The event was so successful at recruiting students, they actually decided to hold Science Olympiad every year.
After teachers from other states read about the success of Science Olympiad in North Carolina, they started their own Science Olympiads in their state. Soon, Science Olympiad grew to the nationwide organization that we know it is today.
As you can see, in 2020, Regional Science Olympiad is still going strong.
So let's see some more live action and play-by-play. We send it over to our reporter for the competition.
I'm Thomas Jones, and I'm at the ping pong parachute interviewing.
Colin Parks.
Now, could you tell us a little bit about how the event works?
So you have to make a rocket and a parachute to carry a ping pong ball and make the ping pong ball with the parachute stay in the air the longest.
Now, what was it like preparing for this event?
The parachute broke a little time sometimes, and the rocket might have been a little flimsy at first.
And have you considered any other events?
I did. I considered Game On, but then I realized that I would have to work a little bit harder.
Well, have you ever been to a state or national Olympiad?
No.
All right. Well, best of luck to you and your partner at the competition today.
Thank you.
That's a wrap. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Mousetrap section of Science Olympiad today. We have another competitor. Looks like he's by himself. I'm not sure if he has teammates and they're just not right next to him, or if he's actually just by himself. Looks like he's getting those wheels wounded up right now. I'm gonna get going pretty soon with this guy. Looks like he's almost ready. Just making a few minor adjustments, make sure everything runs smoothly, looks like. Supervisor's making sure he's not tampering with it, I'm pretty sure. Ooh. I swear, those ping pong parachutes are scaring the living daylights out of me. All right, looks like our kid's ready to go. And he's off. Oh, he's coming down pretty fast. Uh-oh. Oh, dang. Looks like he's gotten out of the play area. Man, what a wipeout. It went pretty far, though, have to say. It went pretty far, pretty fast, too. And I think that was his first run, too, so he'll get another shot. I think if he angles it more to his left, it should end up going a bit straighter. Oh, looks like they're actually measuring it. And with that, we'll send that back over to you guys.
All right, and we're coming upon Isaac Bear. They're testing their bridge now, or their boom lever. It's not a bridge. All right. And they're gonna see. They're testing the length requirements and all that first. All right. And now they're seeing if it's level. Yet again. I wonder if they can beat that one group. So far, no one's beat them yet, so I guess we'll find out. All right, they're setting it up. It's high anxiety as we wait for the sand to come down. All right. It's coming. They're getting ready. Pull the lever. And here they go. How long do you think it's going to hold for? Only time will tell. Wow, it's actually holding for... Oh. Maybe I just curse it every time I say that it's holding a while. You guys are doing the event later, correct? Would you like to talk for the camera for a second? No? Okay. It's okay. I hope you do well on it.
All right, welcome back. The single competitor looks like he's about to go for his second shot. He's still getting ready, winding up those wheels. Let's see if he'll get another good performance like he did last time. I think they actually counted his, whatchamacallit, sorry, excuse me. Distance? That's the word, distance. Even though it rolled out of this little area with the caution tape all over it, looked like it went pretty far. Maybe not the farthest, but it still was very, very good, I have to say. I don't think I could have done that well. Let's see. He's getting ready. Got the supervisors looking down on him, making sure he's not doing anything fishy. Looks like he's just about ready. Making those last few minor adjustments, little tweaks. I wonder if it'll go more straight this time. Hopefully it does. It looks like he could actually probably go a lot further if he does. Whew. All right. Should be just about ready to do his launch. Hey, if he keeps winding those wheels up, they'll have nothing else to wind up. He's winding it so far back. Oh. Is he just about ready? I think he might be just about ready. Looks like it. Oh. Hey. I don't blame him. He's got to make sure he's got a good run. We come to this thing to win and learn. All right. Looks like he actually might have a problem. The supervisor, something must have broke or fallen off. That is sorry to see. He did good for by himself, though. Looks like he's by himself, at least. But I'm not sure. We have another team coming up here pretty soon. Looks like they're taking stage now, getting ready. Talking with the supervisors, handing them their papers. Put the mousetrap on the floor. Looks like he's talking to a supervisor, telling him how it works. Looks like we're about to get ready and start rolling. All right, and with that, we'll send it back over to you guys.
So we're here with
Johnny,
Sammy.
and they just got done with the boom leader competition. And can you tell us a little bit about how the event works?
Yeah, so basically the goal is to create the most efficient boom lever. So you use bass and balsa wood primarily along with any kind of glue and try to create a structure that holds the most amount of sand while weighing the least amount.
How long have you two been competing in this event? Is this y'all's first year?
I think this is second year doing boom lever, but I think both of us have done towers at some point. But anyway, I have done either this event or like a cousin of this event for the last 4 years. So we did towers 3 years ago. Yeah. So it was like same idea, just different design. So it was like basically a vertical version of this and the way it was holding it down. But having experience in towers helped a lot in boom lever the last 2 years. So it's just been same idea, just different tactics on the design.
So what's the preparation like? Because I know y'all working this months in advance.
Yeah, it's a lot. We've probably been through at least 10 boom levers just in the last couple weeks on this season. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of breaking stuff, which is kind of fun.
You mentioned that you've done towers in the past, but for this year, have you considered doing any other events?
Yeah, so I'm also doing gravity vehicles. So I have personally done building events primarily, but same concept with communication with your partner, because with building events you have to put a lot of time into hands-on versus like phone conversations or research. Obviously research helps a lot to figure out like a basis of what you want to go for, but whenever you're meeting up with your partner, you're going to have so much more, you're going to progress a lot more in your process whenever you're meeting in person.
So this question for both of you. What kind of future plans do you have, and are you interested in science or engineering?
I actually will be headed to NC State next year for mechanical engineering, hopefully, so you can kind of see where the influences come in. But.
And I'm going for a biology and Spanish major to work in the medical field, so that way I can obviously go into the medical field, but also be able to work with more patients. So if I decide on doing a career that works with, like in hospitals, working with patients who only speak one language, which if it's Spanish, that will allow me to work with those patients as well.
Cool. What do you like most about competing in Science Olympiad, if you can think of one thing?
just competition day in general is a whirlwind because an hour ago I was freaking out about one of my other events, and then we fixed it in 5 minutes, and now I'm freaking out about my next event, and it's the entire thing is a roller coaster of up, downs, and turnabouts, and by the end of the day, you are exhausted and so done with everything and so glad that you did it.
Yeah, I agree. Basically the same thing. And obviously, if you succeed, it really pays off. Like all the hard work that you put into it, ends up.
And what school are you two from?
Isaac Bear Early College.
There.
High School.
How many students are competing here today?
50 something, I
Yeah.
think. We
have
got
three
three
teams, and there's about 18 people per team.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's
18
a lot
times
of
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what first interested you to join Science Olympiad, participate?
Yeah, so in middle school, Noble Middle School, I used to go to Noble, and they had a Science Olympiad team. I wasn't on the team because I had other clubs, or I was on the soccer team, so I couldn't make it to practice. But I would still join in on the events that I could, so that way I could help my partners out. And for middle school, I knew that I definitely wanted to do it in high school, so that's why I decided to do it in high school.
Okay, this is us. We're here now after the Boom Leader competition, and we're saying back to you right now.
Here at UNCW today.
Both middle and high school students are working hard to improve their team scores.
To learn more about the team aspect of the competition, we spent an afternoon at Roland Grice Middle School and talked to their team members about how they prepared for today's events.
The team of Roland Grice has worked hard for a long time to get ready for Science Olympiad.
Always try to express to students that, whenever their event is called, and they feel like that joy because it's their turn, I get to experience that joy every time because I get to overlook the whole thing. So it's just a different perspective.
In the event Ping Pong Parachute, students had to build rockets that launch in the air, and there is a ping pong attached inside of the rocket. When the rocket goes off, the ping pong goes in the air, and whoever's ping pong ball stays in the air the longest wins.
I am in ping pong parachute, which is building rockets that you launch, and then there's a ping pong in it with a parachute on it, and when you launch it, the ping pong comes out, and it goes down, and whoever has the longest time that the parachute's in the air wins.
Another event that Roland Grice has worked hard to get ready for is elastic launch gliders. The students who are participating in this event enjoy it because of their love for aerodynamics.
I have elastic launch gliders, which I like it because it has stuff with aerodynamics and planes and engineering too. And I like the building aspect of it, and engineering and designing their own plane and flying. Science Olympiad to me is very interactive after school. If you want to do more with science or building, engineering, you can do Science Olympiad, and there's different events that you could sign up for, and it gives you a little extra to do. And the competition between schools also is very high too. I like it.
The students also say they enjoy science in general because it helps them understand how things in life work. Students also understand how science is going to help them in the long run.
It really allows you to study other subjects and be able to learn stuff, and it's really rewarding. It's just really giving an explanation to a lot of things in life. You're able to figure out why things work and why other things don't, and really just definition for life.
The Roland Grice team has worked hard over the past few months getting ready for competition, and they are very excited to compete.
It's great to see students so excited by the STEM fields.
It's so great to see all the students in action. Now we send it over to Araceli with a live interview.
So how long have you been competing at Science Olympiad?
So this is my 11th year teaching, or coaching, I guess.
And how is it? What's your favorite thing about it?
I think we just had a bunch of students that came back that used to be at Isaac Bear, and now they're here as event leaders, and so it's sort of the family of everyone coming together for, STEM and their futures.
What do you find most difficult about competing?
The expectations of doing really well and then the crash and burn, which is okay. That's going to happen.
What are your goals for the future?
So last year we came in top 10 for the first time ever, and I'm hoping top 5 at state, which would be awesome. It just takes a lot of dedication, from all the students. So hopefully we can do it.
So, what's your best memory from Science Olympiad?
Best memory. 2 years ago, we came in first place, which has never happened, and it was awesome. Super emotional and just crazy happy.
And can you tell me a little bit about how Science Olympiad works?
Yeah, so there are 23 events, and there are events stemming in knowledge from astronomy, anatomy, and then half of those are also building events. And so you have students that are interested in whatever type of science that we can offer, and this is a way they can get experience. For us, they meet professors and mentors so that they can get a jump into college and have some great learning experiences.
What first interested you in Science Olympiad?
I think when I started teaching at Isaac Bear, I guess 11 years ago, I heard about it. We had a small team, and it seemed like a good extension of my classroom because we could only do so much in the classroom, as you know, but I wanted to do other things that were exciting.
And how many students are on your team?
So this year we have 3 teams, so we have 54 students, and we had a couple alternates, but a couple people left, so 54 strong competitors.
And how do you think the results will be for you today?
I would predict that we're going to come in second place in varsity, second place in JV, and fourth place. So 2, 2, and 4 is my guess today.
And how did you guys prepare for this?
We went to an invitational at Duke for a first time ever, and so they got real hands-on national competition work, which is eye-opening, and we've been doing this since August of this year.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Welcome back. As you can see, the contestants are getting ready to shoot off their airplane. They've already had a few runs and they were pretty successful in their few runs so far. Hopefully they'll be able to get a good long run this time, and it looks like he's about to pull back the thing and start it, and hopefully he'll be able to shoot it, and hopefully it'll go very long. I'm sure it will. As you can see, he's shooting it now, and it's a test run. As you can see, he's getting ready. He's got to angle it perfectly and get it measured as perfectly and as straight as possible. Oh, that looks like a pretty good run. And then it flew back up a little bit, which was pretty cool, and it landed on the bleachers, and he's going to go get it. And he's got it, and he's preparing to start again, and he's going to do a few more runs and before the timer is out, because he has 5 minutes to get it all completed. And he is stretching it back out, and he's going to get it all fixed and get it to a perfect angle. He's loading it back up, and he pulled it back, and he's getting ready to shoot it. It's got to be very precise. And that was a really, really nice throw, as you can see. And it keeps hitting those bleachers. There we go, and they got it, and they're getting back on it, and they're gonna do very successful. They got it. And it looks like they are finished because they are now talking to the judges, and they're fixing it up and talking to the judges. All right, back to you.
We're going to take a short break and try to line up some interviews so you can hear from more about the people participating in today's events.
Don't go away. We've got more reports, event coverage, and those interviews when we return.
This is live coverage of the 2020 Regional Science Olympiad from New Hanover County Schools TV. Take a moment during the short break to follow us on Twitter at NHCS TV.
It's a great way to stay connected to all that we do.
Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Now don't go away. Science Olympiad coverage from New Hanover County Schools Television will continue right after this quick break. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at NHCS TV.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
NHCS TV coverage of Regional Science Olympiad. Support for this year's Olympiad is made possible with the help of McDonald's. Now back to NHCS TV's live coverage of Science Olympiad.
Good afternoon and welcome to New Hanover County School Television's live coverage of the 2020 Regional Science Olympiad. From the campus of UNCW, I'm Milo Kenny and this is my co-host, Ely Feldman.
We're in the middle of the third hour of our Olympiad coverage. During this half hour, we will have student interviews, plus our continuing live play-by-play coverage of events taking place here at Trost Coliseum.
However, before we get all that great coverage, we have Katie Martin, NHCS Science 9 through 12 lead teacher, standing by for an interview from our own Araceli.
She'll tell us about how the day is going. Here's Araceli with the interview.
Put on an event like this?
Oh, it takes lots of coordination. We have about 150 volunteers. Obviously, we have this huge space at UNCW. We use several buildings. It just takes a lot of coordination between just a lot of different entities as far as the events, the teams, and just pretty much all the people we need. It takes a lot of folks to put this on.
And how do you think this fuels the passion for students?
Oh, we have students practicing this for the entire school year, basically. I think it really fuels their passion for STEM in lots of ways because they get to do whatever they enjoy, basically, because there's events that really hone in on all different aspects of STEM, which is really exciting.
And how does Science Olympiad work here in New Hanover County?
Basically, schools have a choice as to whether or not they want to participate. Most of our middle school and high schools do, and coaches recruit students at their schools, and they basically begin practicing. And the kids sign up for events, and they get to practice whatever they're good at. And a lot of times, we have so much participation that they have to try out for different events, and then they get their team down to 18, and then they just really start preparing for the competition.
And can you tell me a little bit about the elementary school science Olympiad?
Yes, so our elementary science Olympiad has gotten really big over the past years. In fact, we have to have 2 tournaments because we have so many teams that want to participate with us. And so it's a really good preparation for when they get to middle and high school. So lots of the events are similar versions of the events that you've seen here today, but they're for 3rd through 5th graders.
And is there anything that you think can be done to create more space for more teams?
Oh my, we're pretty big as it is. We probably could get more space. We'd have to be pretty creative with the schedule right now, but we've already gone to a split schedule where we have really the events running back to back so more teams can participate. So if we get more schools, we'll probably just have to use a lot more spaces here on campus, and of course, get many more volunteers.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Live with more play-by-play coverage is one of our reporters out in the field.
We are back at Mousetrap Vehicle. As you can see, the contestants are about to start their vehicle. Oh, it looks like they hesitated for a second. Oh, and there they go. It's going pretty fast. It's going pretty far so far. Yeah. It's turning a little bit. Still turning. Oh, it's still going. It's still going. It's still going really fast. Doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. Oh, there it goes. It stopped. So, the teams have 10 minutes of event time in which they get 2 runs. All right. And back to you guys.
All right, we are here at the ping pong parachute. We've got our contestants pumping up their parachute, ready to go. All right, looks like they're ready. About to press the button and see how high their parachute goes. All right, looks like the judges are getting ready to time their event. They're getting ready. All right. Oh, look at that. Got a lot of distance there. Got I think it's maybe a trash bag design for the parachute part, and then maybe a water bottle that's they're using as their stand. Very interesting. We've seen a lot of ones like that today. A lot of trash bags, a lot of water bottles, maybe even some cardboard boxes and some cardboard parachutes. Looking great. All right. Looks like the other contestants are getting ready to line up, and the judges are gonna time their event. Looking great. We've got some styrofoam cups even. Very interesting. Some cardboard boxes. Got a lot of very interesting designs. Definitely some future engineers over here. All right, we've got one with tinfoil next. Very interesting. Tinfoil. All right. Looking awesome over here. Looking like maybe some middle schoolers getting ready to set up here. Okay. All right. Got their tinfoil parachute. Very interesting. Very interesting. Haven't seen that yet today. Seen a lot of cardboard boxes, a lot of trash bags, but no tinfoil yet. Let's see how it works for them. Very interesting. All right. All right. They're getting ready to pump up their equipment and get ready. All right. Got a lot of excited people here today at Science Olympiad. Very interesting. All right. Let's see what they do with this. All right, they're pumping it up. Very interesting, very interesting design here. We've seen a lot of very cool designs for these ping pong parachutes, and very cool to see everyone here with their really cool designs. All right, pumping it up now. Gonna try to get some height over here. All right, let's see what they do. All right, looks like they're getting ready to press the button. Oh, wow, look at that. Very interesting, very cool design there. Interesting. Went a little bit to the left, but that's okay. Looking great. All right. Have I been talking? All right, and back to you.
Hi, I'm at the Boomalever where we are about to see a couple of competitors compete in creating the best Boomalever for this competition. Now, they're right now showing these competitors how they're going to attach, and it's very, very suspenseful. I can only imagine what the competitors are thinking right now. Now, Boomalevers undergo many different stresses than a tower or a bridge because of the single attachment point. Usually they're built from a combination of balsa, bass, or spruce. These Boomalevers are made of like small pieces of wood. I think I've seen one of popsicle sticks or so. Now, I've heard that gaps in glue joints are supposedly evil. They're supposed to just completely destroy the Boomalever in seconds. Luckily, I haven't seen any in either of the two competitors, and I think they're going to do incredible with this competition. Now, there there are no limits to the cross sections of the wood piece used, but the Boomalever's wall attachment should be designated to 3 set points. It looks like one team is already starting to get ready. You can see them about to attach the chain to the Boomalever, which holds up the bucket. This team with the white shirts might be better to see. So they are getting ready, and ooh, the top looks. Is that a maybe a rubber band or, huh? Well, it's a very interesting design, but I think it will hold up well in this competition. Those two in the gray look like they're about to get ready, and the audience is gathering. Now, they're about to start pouring sand in any minute now. I am on the edge of my seat. This is incredible. Now, it looks like they're holding those two to make sure the bucket doesn't shake, which I've apparently heard is, oh. And it looks like a Boomalever has just snapped. That's all I have in the Boomalevers section here today. But we'll have more information soon.
As you can see, the contestants are struggling to start their mousetrap vehicle. As you can tell, they've been fidgeting with it for a couple minutes now, and hopefully they can get it started. It looks like they're about to try again and try and put the little thing in it to start it. Oh, there they go. Uh-oh. The mousetrap vehicle went around in a little circle. That did not look like it was a very good run, but they tried their best. And so they're measuring it now, and looks like a pretty good run. And so all of the vehicle's kinetic energy must originate from the mousetraps. The vehicle may not be tethered or controlled in any way to guide it, reverse it, or make it stop. And so in this event, the competition is on a straight and level lane with a relatively smooth, hard, and low friction surface. As you can see, that is really soft and smooth. There's no bumps in the road or anything like that, so that way it won't cause the vehicle to mess up. And it looks like they're going to go for another run, and they're getting the vehicle ready to start, as you can see. And looks like they're about to get ready. And so once the students finish the first run, students may take any measurements and make any adjustments to their vehicle in preparation for the second run. As you can see, which these students are doing right now, they're getting ready for their second run. They're going to fix any errors that they made in the first time. All right, and now back to you.
We are here at the ping pong parachute today. We have the next design. They are pumping up their parachute, getting ready to go. We have a very interesting design here. They've got a plastic pipe that they have their ping pong parachute on. Very interesting, very cool. All right, they're pumping it up and getting ready to go. Let's see what they do. About to press the button. All right. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Very high, almost touched the ceiling there. Super cool, super interesting. We've seen a lot of height here at the ping pong parachute today at Science Olympiad. A lot have almost even touched the ceiling. Very cool, very interesting here. Very cool. All right. All right. The judges are about to give them their times, and we'll see what they do next. We'll see what this next team does. Very nice. Got a bottle and a plastic pipe.
And it looks like they're ready for their second run. And I think he's about to start. Oh, they're getting ready. Oh, here he goes. I have a good feeling about this one. Oh, yeah, look at that. It's going much faster than it did the first one. It went so much further. That was really, really, a really, really good run. As you can see, they look much better pleased than they did the first round, and it's looking pretty good so far. And so, the vehicle has to, all right, and now back to you.
Those of you at home who have been enjoying the coverage of this year's Regional Science Olympiad, we're going to take a few moments to show you a little bit about NHCS TV.
All day long, nearly 20 high school students have been both on air and behind the scenes working to bring you the coverage you see.
After the 2018 Olympiad, NHCS TV put together a short video of their role at Regional Science Olympiad.
Here's that video and a little inside glimpse at the behind the scenes of our production.
Take 1,500 middle and high school student scientists and engineers, armed for battle with flying machines, battery buggies, hovercrafts, roller coasters, and towers, and you've got some great television. That's right, television. For 18 years, the students who intern and volunteer for New Hanover County Schools Television have been providing live coverage of the Southeast's biggest STEM competition, Regional Science Olympiad.
The thing is that we are the only region in the entire state, and I think we're the only region in the entire country that is televised and live streamed. So I think that is incredibly important to the kids, to the coaches, to our event leaders. It's a great deal of pride for our region to make that claim. So I think it's huge for us. We can't underestimate the importance of kids being able to see themselves on TV. I think it brings kids back.
NHCS TV's coverage focuses on the events most visible contests known as walk-in events. These Olympiad events challenge both camera operators and event announcers to cover the action in detail, showcasing the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat.
It's a little bit of pressure, but it's super fun. I really like it. I enjoy it. It makes me feel important a little bit.
It's really fun. You get to meet new people and you get to learn a lot, and it's just a great experience to have.
It takes weeks to organize, to prepare for the live coverage. The day before the competition, NHCS TV builds an entire studio control room on site, runs camera and microphone cables, and constructs a basic news desk.
So for me, the very first time I saw Science Olympiad, I was impressed. I mean, even in those days it was small, there wasn't much going on in the gym, but a couple of airplanes being flown. At first we just shot reports, played them back, did a little intro at the top and bottom of every hour, and then over time it just grew. We added more cameras. We're up to 6 cameras now. We've got 7 or 8 microphones out there on the floor doing interviews for reporters, with reporters and students, and they really get a chance to think on their feet and be a part of something that's actually happening in front of them, rather than a planned, structured classroom type of event.
Live coverage of Regional Science Olympiad begins at noon, running non-stop through the awards ceremony. But NHCS TV reporting begins that morning at 9. Borrowing a technique used by the networks during Olympic coverage, NHCS pre-records events and interviews for playback, ensuring that cable and online viewers are never without competition action.
While I think we do a really good job of getting kids incredibly excited and psyched, the television aspect just adds a level of credibility that we don't see in other academic events. And so this is great. It just builds the energy and the excitement and the credibility for them competing in an academic type event like this.
From early morning to wrap up in the evening, 20 students work to provide the television coverage of Regional Science Olympiad. Few, if any, will have a chance like this again to participate in such a large-scale production, which makes the opportunity that much more important.
It's been really fun. Honestly, it's a great opportunity whether you want to go into like some sort of public speaking field or even into a TV field. It's great. It's a great experience just to get around and kind of see how Science Olympiad works. It's a lot different from just being at the news desk on NHCS TV normally. So yeah, it's really fun.
While coverage of Olympiad is sort of NHCS TV's Super Bowl event, the student interns and volunteers still have a number of other projects ahead. 2 weekly newscasts, all-county concerts, Educator of the Year banquet, Charades Challenge, and finally, live coverage of 4 graduation ceremonies, each event giving them more experience in video production, an industry that has boomed, but lacks those with the organizational skills to do it right. Lessons the NHCS TV students are learning by doing.
Earlier we promised a student interview, and now it is time for us to deliver. Standing by with one of the competitors is Araceli.
So what event are you guys competing in?
Ping pong parachute.
And how did you guys prepare for this event?
Go ahead.
I don't know what to say.
She created all the parachutes. I built the rockets. So yeah, we split it up pretty evenly.
And what first interested you in Science Olympiad?
I just wanted to try something new and see how I would like it.
And what was the most difficult part about the events you competed in?
It was definitely the parachute and, getting all the measurements correct on the rocket so that it could go as high as it could and then the parachute just stays in the air.
How many hours or days did it take you to prepare?
It took us over a week.
Like 2-3 weeks to prepare.
And what kind of future plans do you have?
That's a tough question to ask at this point. Just come back ready for next year, I guess.
And how many students are on your team?
It's like 4. 4.
And what are some of the events that they are competing in?
I know I competed in 3 events today: ping pong parachute, right stuff, and boom lever. And another one of our students was supposed to compete in anatomy and physiology today.
Can you tell me what you like most about Science Olympiad?
It's fun to have to build everything and learning how to build something you never thought you would be building before.
And can you tell me something about how your event works?
So you build this bottle rocket made out of 1-liter bottles, and you just construct it to make it look like a rocket. You load it on this pressurizer, you pressurize it, and then you hit start, and it should go up in the air.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
As we approach the end of our 3rd hour of coverage, the last Olympiad events are beginning to come to a close. Students will slowly start to fill the bleachers here at Trask Coliseum in anticipation for the ceremonies. That's where we'll all see who moves to the state and national competitions.
But we're not quite done with events yet. Coming up in our continuing coverage of the Regional Olympiad, we've got more competition, more interviews with students, teachers, and volunteers right here in Trask Coliseum.
That is live coverage of the 2020 Regional Science Olympiad from New Hanover County Schools TV. Remember, you can watch us on cable, Roku, Apple TV, and online at www.nhcstv.wordpress.com.
And make sure to follow us on Twitter at NHCS TV.
Now, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Now don't go away. Science Olympiad coverage from New Hanover County Schools Television will continue right after this quick break. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at NHCS TV.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals
25,
Good job!
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
New Hanover County Schools television coverage of Regional Science Olympiad. Support for this year's Olympiad is made possible with the help of New Hanover County Schools Public Relations Department, NHCS TV, and Department of Instruction and Accountability. Now, back to New Hanover County Schools television coverage of Regional Science Olympiad.
Good afternoon, and welcome to New Hanover County Schools live coverage of the 2020 Regional Science Olympiad from the campus of UNCW. I'm Ely Feldman.
And I'm Milo Kenny. This is our last 30 to 45 minutes of Southeastern North Carolina's biggest science competition, the Regional Science Olympiad coverage.
The award ceremony is scheduled to start at 4 p.m. And we will bring you live coverage of the ceremony.
During the ceremony, we will find out who's taking home gold, silver, and bronze medals for each event. We will also find out from who the region will go on to compete on the state level for Science Olympiad.
It's going to be an exciting time with lots of cheering and be sure to stay tuned in here.
Good.
Billy Workman.
All right. So tell me a little bit about the event you oversee.
So, oh, Billy Evil.
Yeah. The end. The interview's over. No, I'm kidding.
Just what's your name? All right, I can handle that.
You're like, all right, it's over. I'm done. Go ahead. Welcome back. I'm Johanna Carey, and I'm with
Billy Workman.
All right, Billy, tell me a little bit about the event you oversee.
So I did ping pong parachute. So it's they have to build a bottle rocket that just starts in the air, and however long their parachute ping pong payload stays in the air is the winner ultimately. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So what are the rules for it?
So ultimately they have to have an unobstructed carbon dioxide, like 1 liter bottle rocket, and they want to have it separate, and as long as they don't have that construction violation and it stays in the air, that's really the ultimate goal. So you just want to see that they're kind of put some forethought into it before and hopefully get a nice launch at the end of the day.
Yeah. And so how do students compete in this event?
I guess ultimately they have to bring what they've built, and then we have 3 different timers that are kind of coming in, and that middle time basically between the 3 is what dictates their score, and that's pretty much it. There's different tiers for if you have construction violations and things like that, but ultimately that part sounds simple, so.
Yeah. And so, what seems to be the most challenging part of the event?
So the most thing that seems like there's been the issue is just making sure their parachute actually deploys, and because pretty much anyone that does that is doing better than the other competitors. So that seems to be probably the biggest issue, because that's pretty much your goal. So it also tends to be the hardest thing. So
To get the parachute up in the air.
Yep.
And as a judge, what do you think makes Science Olympiad such a unique event?
I think it's interesting to have all the different, middle school, high schools potentially doing the same events, and just the vast variety of choices and things that you can do, and there's kind of a little bit for everything, and it's been something I've enjoyed volunteering and participating in over the years. So, but something I've done for a while. So.
Yeah. All right. And back to you.
Let's now send it back out to the floor for more live play-by-play coverage from one of our reporters standing by at an event.
Welcome back to the mouse car section. Looks like these kids just got done with their first one. It went very, very far. Very impressive coming out from this school. Again, I'm not sure which school this is. I feel bad, but it looked like it's gone the farthest so far. Basically went up to the end of the road for them. Looks like they're setting up again. Now, I want to say, I think this one went the farthest because their dowel was the longest. It has the most amount of energy you can get. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a science man. Let's see. As far as I know, the more friction you have, less distance you'll get. Hopefully that doesn't hinder their performance. Let's see. Looks like they're setting up again. Now, I'm not sure if any piece fell off. I think some piece might have. I couldn't tell. Oh, here it goes. Let's see how far it goes. It's going pretty fast. Looks like it's going to go a long distance, too. Got past that little tape marker right there. Looking pretty good, looking pretty solid. It's coming to a stop. Very impressive. I'm not sure if that was as far as their first run, but it still looked very amazing. And we'll send it back over to you guys.
All right. All right. Hi, I'm at the ping pong parachute, and the objective of this challenge is to launch an unaltered ping pong ball into the air and keep it aloft for the most amount of time using a parachute that is attached to the ping pong ball using only duct tape. Now, the teams will have a total of 2 launches using the same rocket or 2 different rockets. They will have a maximum of 8 minutes to complete these 2 launches. Now, this is the result of numerous weeks of practice. The data must include 5 or more parameters for 20 or more test flights prior to the competition for each rocket. I've seen some incredible competition today, and it looks like the challenges for these competitors are fierce. It appears that one's about to go off right now. I think we're all hoping for a Tier 3, which is the greatest number of points a team can receive by hitting either the ceiling or a part of the ceiling above me. Let's see how this goes. Oh. Great job today. Back to you in the studio. Thank you.
back. They're pouring in the sand. It's lasting a pretty long time. They keep pouring. All right. Now we have 2 teammates here, one to pour the sand and one to steady it with the bucket. This is working out great. Their device is holding up Oh, all right. Well, that was the longest one so far. It seems that they have a lot of sand in the bucket. I think this one will definitely weigh the most. The judge is even struggling to pick it up, as you can see. It's a very heavy bucket, so I think that's pretty fierce competition right there. And now we have the second contestant against them now coming up. They're measuring out the bridge, making sure it's level. There are certain standards and requirements that these devices must live up to. And if they fail to do so, they're not afraid to tell them that they can't compete. So, all right, and they're weighing the bucket now. It seemed to hold a lot of sand. I think so far, that was the most I've seen. And it held up for a decent amount of time, too. Not only was it a lot of sand, it was also for a decent amount of time. All right, now it appears that they're getting ready to start the next one soon. Oh, here it goes. And we're on to the second one. All right. They're getting things situated. All right. And like I said earlier, they have someone to steady the bucket as the sand gets poured into the bucket. And we're waiting. They're about to pull the lever, start pouring down the sand. All right, here it goes. And they're going. 3, 2. Oh. All right. And they're going. There they go. So far, decent amount of sand. Will they beat the other ones, though? So far, this device is holding up pretty well. Yeah, very well. Oh, wow. I think that one might be even more than the last one, which I thought the last one was pretty good, but that one, that was excellent. There's a lot of sand in there. All right, we're wrapping that for right now. We'll be back later.
My name is Aiden Collins Peterson, and welcome back to the Mousetrap section of today's Science Olympiad competition. Looks like we got our next competitor stepping up. Very interesting design choice. Looks very sturdy, very stable, very small, light, compact. I think this one actually might go pretty far. They're going over something with the, not competitors, I keep wanting to say competitors, excuse me, with the supervisors. Not sure exactly what they're going over. Looks like some last minute numbers. Let's see. Oh, never mind. I thought they were about to go compete. Strange. All right, looks like we have more people coming up. Going over something with the supervisor, making sure they're at the right starting point. I'm gonna guess right there. Yep, looks like that's what they're going over. Getting ready, getting ready. Let's see.
So, this competition, the ping pong parachute, is held in a building that has ceilings that are at least 20 feet in height. Now, what we're hoping for today is that one of these rockets will hit the ceiling above me, or one of the parts of the ceiling. That would be a Tier 3. We're about to see a rocket launch right now. Now, the pressure given to these rockets is determined. Oh, we're about to start. Now, that looked to be around a Tier 2, which is when the rocket, and then when the rocket separates from the launcher, If any, we're really hoping for a tier 3, but that might have fared very well in the competition here today. So we're looking for some great stuff here today. This is the result of weeks of practice with 20 or more test flights required prior to the competition for the rocket. We're seeing some really great stuff here today, and the competition is fierce. Now that's a wrap. That's all I have for you here today. But back.
All right, and we're back with Boomy Lever. Right now we have our next competitors up. They're getting ready. They're measuring out the the device and stuff, and they're seeing. So the thing with these devices is that they're very different from bridges and other things. They undergo a lot of different stress factors. So with a bridge, it has 2 points, but with the Boomy levers, it only has 1 point where it's structured down, where it's fastened down. So that's why. And it pulls on the bucket. The bucket pulls down on the Boomy lever. So that's where that's the biggest stress. That's why they break. So if they're not built correctly, they do break. So we're waiting to see how much sand this one can hold. Hopefully it meets all the requirements. The judges are very particular about the requirements. They even they make sure it's level. They use a lever on it. And they also said that the buckets can't be too high. They can't be too low. It's very difficult. It can only be a certain length too. They can only use 3 bolts on the whole bridge itself. But the actual intersections of the wood blocks can be as many as they would like. So where it's connected together. It looks like they're getting ready. They're making sure everything's correct. The bucket's all lined up. Oh, and it looks like they're about to pull the lever. Let's see. We're going to see if this will withhold it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. And we got the sand pouring in. It's been holding for a decent amount of time now, but will it be able to contain more sand than the last group? So far, the last group was the most amount of sand. Looks like they're taking the slow and steady route. Many say that might not be the best route, but I guess we'll find out. Only time can tell. Oh, and it broke. That was unfortunate, but it did last a decent amount of time. I don't know if it was as long as the other group, though. The other group had a pretty long time and more sand. And now they're collecting the pieces. And they're going to weigh out the sand. All right, and we'll be back later with more.
All right, welcome back to the mousetrap section. We got a few people coming up. Looks like they're about to launch their car again. That keeps scaring me. Those big ping pong parachutes. Keep scaring me. All right, looks like they're about to go. Here he goes, coming down pretty fast. Let's hope they can keep up that speed. It's looking very nice, very nice. Will it get to that tape marker? Just barely missed it. Good distance, though. I have to say, good distance. Getting measurements on that car right now. Now, I'm pretty sure, as a whole, the competition is graded on the basis of teams getting scored on both of the completion areas, scores received on the test, accuracy of measured weight ratios, number of data points, experiment data, appearance of graph data, and amount of time allotted to complete data. I'm pretty sure they have all their numbers and graphs on their pieces of paper. It's probably what they showed to the judges, actually, now that I think about it. Give them some expectations. That was a very nice run, I have to say. It looked very good. Got pretty far. Looks like they're graphing down their distance, and we'll get another competitor coming up. Let's see. All right, we're going to send it back over to you.
As things slowly wrap up here at Trask Coliseum, it's time to prepare for the awards ceremony. We're going to take a look at how students at Isaac Bear prepare for today's event with this special report.
I've been teaching here 11 or 12 years, and so I picked up a team 10 years ago, and we had, 10 students. People didn't really know what it was, and so now we're a full-fledged entity here. So when people come to the school, they actually look at the competition next week and look at us as something to sort of aspire to be a good high school scientist. So it's that kind of excitement which will prepare them for careers and prepare them for college, and it's pretty special.
Well, I wrote about this in my college admissions essays, but I like that I get to fail, and it's a good thing. I kind of called it failing forward because I'm in an event called Boom Lever, where the entire point is to break everything. And the goal is to try and break things in the most efficient way, but sometimes it doesn't happen, and those are kind of the most fun parts.
We try to get as many students involved in the scientific process of real-time, solving problems, breaking things, learning from sort of adventures they have, and I find they learn the most when they kind of make the mistakes and then they have to figure out what to do with them. So a lot of our events are very building heavy, and they have to figure out how to achieve an efficiency or hit exactly the rules. For knowledge events, they have to figure out what the professors or other professionals in the field, what do they know about a certain topic that will prepare them for hopefully potential careers.
My favorite aspect, if I had to say, was the personal growth that you see throughout the year if you really interact and engage with the people on the team. As Mr. Bishop alluded to, really that process of independently reading the rules, making sure you're following what you need to be doing. You're working with people on your team to ensure that when competition rolls around in about 9 days now, you have everything that you need to have. Not only so you can go and win and do everything you would like to do, but also to, in a way, honor what the school stands for and the legacy that we have in the Science Olympiad.
As our coverage draws to a close, we wish to acknowledge the support and cooperation of businesses and industry, government and educational leaders for sponsoring this year's Regional Science Olympiad.
The 2019 Regional Science Olympiad sponsors are General Electric, C-STEM, Corning, New Hanover County Schools, UNCW, Watson College of Education, and McDonald's.
If your business would be interested in supporting next year's Olympiad, please call Cameron Sidbury at 962-4266.
Your support is tax deductible. Remember, both the regional and state Olympiads need your support to continue recognizing and developing the best and brightest young men and women from the state of North Carolina.
Also, pass the word about New Hanover County Schools TV coverage of the Regional Science Olympiad. This is the only school system in the state of North Carolina that televises the excitement, challenge, and the fun of this unique competition.
And if you are a high school student or a parent of one, students can join the NHCTV crew all year long. It's a great way to meet new people, learn about television production, and earn volunteer hours for service clubs.
Plus, it's a whole lot of fun. Just call 910-254-4180 for more information or to sign up.
Let's head back down to the competition floor where a reporter is standing by with a student participant.
So what interested you guys about Science Olympiad?
I really like science, and I wanted to do something really cool.
I wanted to get involved in like something for school, and I just like science.
What events did you guys compete in?
I'm in elastic launch glider and circuit lab.
I'm in meteorology, water quality, and anatomy.
How long did it take you guys to prepare?
All year.
Yeah, a lot of time.
And can you tell me a little bit about your events?
Circuit lab, you gotta make a circuit, and you gotta take a super long test, but it's all right. And then elastic launch glider, you gotta like take a little planer there, and you gotta build it, and you gotta launch it with a slingshot.
For all my events, we had to take tests, and for water quality, we just took a bunch of tests and like tested things. Yeah.
What are the results you guys think we'll get?
I think I'll win everything.
I think I'll do good.
All right. Thank you. Okay, that was it.
This wraps up our live coverage of the events at this year's Regional Science Olympiad. During the next half hour, we will feature a block of our pre-recorded coverage from the morning hours.
This will keep the excitement going while we reposition our cameras for the award ceremony, which is coming up right here in Trask Coliseum.
It is our plan to provide coverage of the award ceremony starting at 4 p.m. So don't go anywhere because this is all coming back. It's about to be award show time.
Hear and watch all the winners from today's competition announced live.
This is live coverage of the 2020 Regional Science Olympiad from New Hanover County Schools TV. Look for all the latest news at www.nhcs.net. Please friend NHCS TV on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at NHCS TV.
Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Here with, what's your name?
Allie.
Emily. And you guys are with Isaac Bear, correct? All right. So what happened with your event today?
We got up there to test it, and it went really well. It held a lot of sand, but the front did break before holding all of it. But overall, I mean, we're proud of our year.
So we're here at the Right Stud competition with
Zaid Carbot, Nathan Smith.
And can you tell us a little bit more about how the event works?
Now don't go away. Science Olympiad coverage from New Hanover County Schools Television will continue right after this quick break. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at NHCS TV.
As farmers and ranchers, stewardship of the land comes naturally. You leave it better than you found it, so future generations can enjoy a way of life that you love. Thanks to your efforts, we're fortunate to experience clean water, abundant wildlife, and healthy rural communities. Your work is vital, and its benefits extend far beyond your property, reaching millions of other Americans who depend on this region every day without even realizing it. You take care of the land because it's the right thing to do. But did you know that conservation can also improve your bottom line? Take a moment and find out how conservation pays. Visit conservationpays.org.
Hey, Dad. I need your help asking Jessica to prom.
Of course. Love is like the ocean. You have to tread the
Oh,
waters.
Dad. That's not the kind of help I needed. Hey, Jessica. Will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Maria, so how's work?
It was fourth period biology. Our students just weren't getting how easily viruses spread. So Miss Bella and I had them role play a zombie virus outbreak. By the time they had all learned the lesson, all the living were dead. Hey, how's your job going?
That big sales meeting I planned? Next year, I might get to go.
Cool.
Regional Science Olympiad is made possible with the support of General Electric. Now, back to New Hanover County Schools television coverage of Regional Science Olympiad.
Hey, and we're here with, what's your name?
Allie.
Emily. And you guys are with Isaac Bear, correct? All right. So what happened with your event today?
We got up there to test it, and it went really well. It held a lot of sand, but the front did break before holding all of it. But overall, I mean, we're proud of our year. We're proud of what we did.
Don't step backwards.
Yes. All right. We have a plane right beneath me as well. So do you guys think you'll change anything next year?
Yes. I feel like part of the reason why ours broke was because the front was a bit larger and it didn't hold a loading block. So next year, sort of making sure that the measurements are correct and really precise will help us make sure that less of it breaks.
Yeah. Well, it did hold a lot of sand, but do you think it will be enough to get first place?
I don't know. I mean, out of the ones I've seen so far, like ours was pretty good.
Yeah,
so
it was pretty good. I did see it too.
I think we've got it.
So are there other things that they rate you on, like based on where it breaks and stuff?
They rate us on time, and then basically like the tiebreaker is how much we guess it will hold. So it's very hard to have a tie. I think the lady said she's only had one tie in 10 years. But yeah, so basically they rate us on how long it takes and just how much it weighs and how much it holds.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, and you said how much you guess it will hold? Interesting. So if you're guessing the same amount that it actually holds, will that put you at a higher rank than?
Only if you tie with somebody.
Only if you tie. All right. Well, thank you for your time. I know you have to get to another event. What event is that? Machines. Engineering stuff. Very cool. And do you have any other events today?
I do. After lunch, I have gravity vehicle.
Gravity vehicle. What is that?
It's basically you build a car out of wood, and you have to send it down a ramp that you build and make it stop at a certain.
Very interesting. Okay, well, thank you guys so much. All right, thank you. And we'll move.
All right, welcome back to the Mousetrap section of Science Olympiad. We got two more competitors. Looks like they're getting ready to go. I think they've already gone once. This is their second try. And they're off. Let's see how this will go. Looking pretty solid, not gonna lie. All right, that was very nice, I have to say. Didn't get exactly to the tape marker, but that's all right. Still looks pretty good, though. Let's see. Writing down all their measurements, putting that into their graphs and data. I have to say, that actually was pretty solid. They're getting ready for the next team or competitors to show up. Oh. See, they're taking center stage now. Whoa, they got a tub holding their mousetrap car. Very fancy. Going over with. All right, and with that, we'll send that back over to you guys.
All right. Hi, I'm at the ping pong parachute where we've just seen some of the best work we've seen yet. Now, the ping pong parachute, this team from, I think it's Myrtle Grove Middle, just launched an incredible shot. I mean, it almost hit the ceiling. I mean, it was amazing. Cedar Grove Middle, sorry. I'm actually here today with the coach of the team. Miss.
I'm Miss Gilland.
Now, how did you come up with such an incredible strategy for preparing for this competition?
My students just were very familiar with the rules and the parameters of their event, and we just built and tested and built and tested, and it was all them.
Well, great work from Cedar Grove Middle here today. Thank you.
So much.
Back to you.
All right, I'm here with two students that did the cars event. How do you guys think you did?
I think we did okay. I think we did pretty fine.
I noticed you guys had a little bit of trouble with the first attempt you had. What went wrong?
The string overlapped when we wounded it up, so it got caught. And
So you guys were allowed to run it back and fix the problem?
yeah, we have 2 runs in Mousetrap Vehicle.
Nice. Were you guys? How long have you been working on this event?
For about 4 or 5 weeks.
4 or 5 weeks. And did you have any mentors help you out through the process?
Yeah, Miss Supak, our science teacher.
And what made you interested in doing Science Olympiad?
I like building things and learning about new things. What about you?
It's very fun to like start building things and try and get medals for it and stuff.
Are you guys interested in possibly going into engineering in your futures?
Yeah.
What specifically are you interested in?
Mechanical engineering.
And what ignited that sort of interest for you?
I like cars, I guess.
That's fair. And is it just you two on your team?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you guys competing in any other events today?
I'm competing in meteorology, boom lever, and road scholar.
And I'm competing in elastic launch glider and food science.
What grade are you guys in?
I'm in 8th.
And I'm in 7th.
Wow, that's really impressive. All right. Well, it's been great having you guys out here. Thank you for answering my questions. You guys did good in the event. Have a nice day.
You too.
All right, and we're back. We have another device coming up and a very cool red wig, may I say. All right, and they're getting the device steady onto the hook. And of course, they have to test those requirements. It turns out that actually the weight has a deciding factor in the end results, like their ranking, the weight and also the length and the height it is, as well as how much you guessed. So if there were a tie, how much you guessed your device could hold could actually, if you got that right, it could actually leave you in a higher ranking if there was a tie. But the event people say that there hasn't been a tie in years. It is very hard to get a tie in this event. They would have to do the same amount of time, the same weight. It's very difficult. I'm sure it happens in rarity, but I guess we'll find out this time. Maybe this device here will hold enough sand to tie with someone else, or hopefully more. It looks pretty well built. And hopefully it is. All right, and now they're balancing the bucket. We're getting ready to pull the lever here. Hopefully the guy in red can win. All right. Oh, unfortunately, maybe not. But it's okay. There's always next year. And you have to be careful with the building of. I noticed something very strange. So it seems that you have to build a very solid structure at where it lays against the wood. Because if you don't, it tends to snap or sway. And I see there's more people signing up as well, checking their requirements and stuff. They're weighing the sand right now. Unfortunately, that device did break pretty fast. But maybe it's built pretty nice. All right, we'll be back
to you next.
All right, we got some new competitors. Looks like they just did their first run, getting ready to do their second. Let's see, they're setting up right now. The judges are standing by, making those last minor adjustments, excuse me, making sure everything will go smoothly. Let's see. He's winding up those wheels, making sure he gets all that power as much as he can, as far as he can get it. Excuse me. His teammates helping him out, making sure things go straight. Hopefully they do go straight. It's probably how you're going to get the best distance. Looks like they're about to go. And uh-oh. Woo. Looks like the mousetrap had a little bit of a spin out. I have to say that's very unfortunate. It doesn't look like it went anywhere, so I don't think they're gonna count that. All right, here we go. Well, there we go. Now they're off. It's coming in pretty good speed, Looks like it's gonna get good distance. Oh, look at it go. Very nice, have to say. Right there at that tape marker. All right. I have to say that was very nice, and with that, we'll send that back over to you guys.
We're here with
Omar Reyes,
and AJ Glenn,
and they're from
Southeast Area Technical High School.
or otherwise known as CTEC.
and they're competing in the boom lever competition. Is that right?
Yes.
Yep. Can you tell us a little bit? Can you tell us a little bit about how the event works itself?
So we went over there, and you have to hang it onto this apparatus, which will then support the weight of this bucket, which you fill with sand. And the goal is to hold as much sand as possible, with your design and whatnot. But I think we did pretty good. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little more about what went into your design and what you were trying to go for?
We were trying to hold as much weight as possible. We used a combination of balsa and bass. We try to account for a bunch of different things like warping, compression, and tension. But I think we accounted for it all.
What made you want to compete in this event? Is there any other events you thought of competing in?
I wanted to compete in this event because it seemed interesting. I took an interest before in bridges, so like civil engineering, things like that. And I also really wanted to see what Science Olympiad was really about. So it's my first year, and I do look forward to competing in it again.
Yeah. So you said this is your first year competing in Science Olympiad?
Yeah.
And so what's your... Thank you two for interviewing with us today. I really appreciate it, and good luck in the AR competitions you're in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stand by. Stop. Go. Okay. All right. We're standing outside of Ping Pong Parachute with former students from my middle school, Roland Grice. Could you guys tell us your names?
I'm Cassidy.
I'm Pearson.
Now, could you tell us a little bit about how the event works?
So basically there's a rocket and then we have a ping pong with a parachute attached that we put on the rocket. And then we pressurize the rocket and launch it, and whoever's parachute stays in the air for the longest wins.
Now, what first interested you in Science Olympiad?
Pearson,
Just like the engineering part and the building about it.
Do you have any future plans of science or engineering?
Engineering and mechanics.
Yes, definitely science.
Now, how many students are on your team?
I think 18 for JV and 18 for varsity.
Well, thank you so much for your time. That's a wrap. Have a great day. Back to you.
All right, welcome back. If you're just tuning in now, this is the Mousetrap event for the Science Olympiad. In this event, teams design, build, and test a vehicle which uses one or two single-spring mousetraps as their sole source of energy for propulsion. Looks like this team is setting up. They're getting their wheels ready, making sure they can get as much distance as they can. Excuse me. Winding up the wheels, looks like... I think this one's actually going to go pretty far. That's my guess. Looks like they're just about all wound up. About to get ready. And I believe that this is their first launch, and they'll have another one after this. All right, looks like they're getting ready. And they're off. Yeah, it's coming down pretty fast. Looks like it's going to go a long way, too. Very nice. Got to the tape marker. And with that, we'll send that back over to you guys.
Okay. All right. I am here at the ping pong parachute where students are about to compete in an incredible competition. Now these two students are preparing their rocket for launch. We're about to see some incredible work. Now this is the result of numerous weeks of practices. There's actually, in the requirements, they require 20 or more test flights prior to the competition. We're about to see something really incredible, I think. They're pumping it up right now, and it's about to launch any minute now. Now I think they're using the same rocket they used for the first go, and it looks, the first time it actually did an incredible job. So we're about to see a launch in 3, 2, 1. Wow. An incredible job from this middle school. That's all I have here at Ping Pong Parachute. Back to you.
All right, and we're coming up with our next device. However, I'm not sure if it's going to meet the requirements for this event. It is dipping a little lower than the bars, but it might. It's all dependent on the judge. They know best. All right. And they're chaining it to the bucket now. Also, another hard thing is if you don't have a teammate, that's very difficult because you have to have someone to steady the bucket and someone to release it. Unfortunately, they're looking closer at the device. It seems that this one might not pass. All right. I believe they're looking over the standards, trying to make a decision. This is the tricky thing about this competition. It's very difficult. There's a lot of requirements that it's very difficult to compete in these. Oh, unfortunately, this one won't be able to compete. Oh, actually, they're going to allow him to see how well it holds, which it's holding pretty good. All right, well, that held pretty well, but I don't know if they're allowed to rank that one. All right. And we'll be back later.
So we're here at the Right Stuff competition with
Zaid Carbot, Nathan Smith.
And can you tell us a little bit more about how the event works?
So you build a plane. It has to be at least 8 grams, and then you just fly it and see to get the best result you can. You have 2 attempts, and you can also take practice attempts.
Can you tell us a little more about the design, about what went into it, and what was your general plan, what you were thinking?
So my intention was to build a plane, and I think I achieved that. My motor is a rubber band, and you have to make one of the wings black, so that's what I did. I didn't have anything, I didn't have a black marker, so I just used seaweed. And so I guess you could call it a seaplane. Seaplane.
So what sparked your interest in this event?
So they didn't have any other person to do it, and I just volunteered. Yeah, they didn't have anyone for JV2, and they were like, okay, who wants to do it? And I was just like, oh, okay, I'll do it.
Have you considered any other events in competition?
Definitely designer jeans. That was my first event, and I feel like that went pretty well this morning. I'm in 3 other events. This one, Gravity Vehicle, Sounds of Music, and Boom a Lever.
Is this your first time competing?
Yes. This is my second. I was on my middle school team 2 years ago and missed out on this team last year.
What school are you two from?
Hoggard? Is that what it's John called? T. Hoggard High John T. School. Hoggard.
And can you tell me if you know how many students do you have in your team?
Would you say 10? Like for JV2 alone, or for the entire Hoggard team?
The entire Hoggard team.
I would say 50. I don't know.
You think you did a good job? I saw you were flying your plane. You think you did a good job at your competition?
We did the best. I think we did very no one good. That can do any better than us. We definitely we did. are superior. That's about it, really. Can't say much.
What is, if you can name one thing, what is the most difficult part of the competition?
Just going. Making the plane legal. Just going up to throw it is kind of anxiety feeling, but yeah. Also building the plane. You weren't the one that threw it. Yeah, I know, but still, I was up there.
Okay, so I thank you for taking time to take an interview with me, and we're saying right back to you.
All right, we are here at the ping pong parachute. The contestants are pumping up their parachute and they're getting ready to go. All right, talking to the judges, trying to pump up their equipment and get it ready to go. All right, they're giving the signal. Looks like they're ready. Wow. Look at that. That's awesome. Getting a lot of cheers from the crowd. Great. Look at that. I think that was the longest time we've seen so far. They look very satisfied. Looks great. That is awesome. All right. That looks great. All right. They're getting their times from the judges. Hopefully they will advance to the next rounds. Setting up their equipment again for the next person. Looks great. Looks awesome. Doing a great job. All right, looks great. Awesome. All right.
All right, we're here with Ashley's JV team. Their bridge is their device is holding up pretty well. It's a little hard to see, but they're doing the slow method, which they say doesn't actually help. But in this case, it looks like it's working. Oh, I think I heard a tear. But it's still going. It's still holding. Oh, and it broke. It did hold a lot of sand, though. Looks pretty good so far. But did someone beat them? Or could someone beat them? I guess we'll see. They're weighing out the sand now. And they also took measurements of it before. Up, and we have another team coming up. And all right, we'll be back on to you.
Hi, I'm Johanna Carey, and we are at Mousetrap Vehicles. As you can see, the lady's about to start her Mousetrap vehicle. So in this event, teams design, build, and test vehicles which use 1 or 2 single spring mousetraps as their sole source of energy for propulsion. As you can see, they started the vehicle and it's starting to go, and it looks like a pretty good run so far. Yeah, it's going pretty fast. Oh, and it looks like it stopped. Looks like a pretty good run. In Mousetrap vehicle, only 1 or 2 unmodified spring mousetraps, not rat traps, may be used as energy sources. Unmodified means that all the original parts of the mousetraps remain in place. Things may be added to the mousetraps, but not removed. All right, and back to you.
And we're coming with the next group. They're explaining the rules that the bucket can only be at a certain height and that you have to hold the bucket with these sticks, and they have door knob stoppers on these sticks. It is incredibly wobbly, hard to hold the bucket. And it's very interesting that they use these door knob stoppers on the sticks. Now, I've seen quite a few groups come and go. So judging the structure, it looks pretty sound to me. A lot of the structures have an appearance almost similar to a ladder on multiple sides holding it together. They're only allowed to have 3 bolts. And they're allowed to use as much glue as they want, of course, but how much is enough? Because weight does come into play. All right, and we'll be back. On to you.
All right, we are here at the ping pong parachute. All right, the contestants are pumping up their parachute, getting ready to go. This is a very different design. We have not seen this yet. They have a longer pipe that they're putting their ping pong parachute into. Let's see if this pulls through, if this works. Hoping that it does. All right, about to push the button, ready to go. Wow, look at that. Wow, that looks great. Got a lot of distance there, a lot of height. All right, that looks awesome. Great. Great job over here at the ping pong parachute. Looks great. All right. Looks like they're talking to their coach, getting their times from the judges. Hopefully this will be enough to push them on to the next round. Got a bunch of eager contestants ready to do the ping pong parachute. All right, looking great over here. Had a lot of great distance today, a lot of great designs, a lot of different designs for this ping pong parachute. They're all very, very great, very awesome. They've all done super well here today. Everyone's looking great. Everyone has very different and interesting designs. Very awesome over here. We've got a cardboard parachute coming up. Looks very interesting, kind of like a rocket. Looks awesome. So awesome. Let's see what they do with this. Maybe they're gonna put where they put the ping pong ball. All right. Let's see interesting. What are they doing with this? Let's see. Oh, putting it at the top. How interesting. Very cool. I think this one has a lot of promise here. All right, they're pumping it up, getting ready. Let's see what they do. They look very skilled, very ready. look very experienced with this. Awesome. All right, let's see. All right, they're going to get the sign from the judges and then shoot off their cardboard rocket parachute. Looks awesome. All right, let's see what they do, guys. All right. Wow. Look at that. Getting a lot of cheers from the crowd. Wow, awesome. Look at that. Very slow on the way down. Getting a lot of time there. That's very awesome. Very interesting design there. Wow, awesome. Great. So awesome. Very good job. All right, now back to you.
And we are back on Mousetrap Vehicle. As you can see, the contestant is getting ready and they are starting to fix their Mousetrap Vehicle and they're getting it ready to start it off and get it to go. He's putting it down now and he's about to start it and see how fast it can go. So during the run of the vehicle, if any pieces of it fall off, it is considered a competition violation. So therefore, they will be not allowed to compete anymore in this competition because their vehicle was inadequate. Oh, and he's about to start it. Oh, there it goes. It's going a little slow right now. Oh, went a little bit. It's doing all right. It was doing all right, you know. Got a few inches, but the vehicle also must be able to remain at the starting position without being touched until the trigger is released and using a pencil, pen, dowel, or similar device. In fact, it is considered a run if the vehicle moves any distance after the trigger has been released. All right, and they're getting... All right, and now back to you.
Welcome back to the Mousetrap car section. Looks like these kids just got done with their first one. It went very, very far. Very impressive coming out from this school. Again, I'm not sure which school this is. I feel bad, but it looked like it's gone the farthest so far. Basically went up to the end of the road for them. Looks like they're setting up again. Now, I want to say, I think this one went the farthest because their dowel was the longest. It has the most amount of energy you can get. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a science man. Let's see. As far as I know, the more friction you have, less distance you'll get. Hopefully that doesn't hinder their performance. Let's see. Looks like they're setting up again. Now, I'm not sure if any piece fell off. I think it might, some piece might have. I couldn't tell. Oh, here it goes. Let's see how far it goes. He's going pretty fast. Looks like he's going to go a long distance, too. Got past that little tape marker right there. Looking pretty good, looking pretty solid. It's coming to a stop. Very impressive. I'm not sure if that was as far as their first run, but it still looked very amazing. And we'll send it back over to you guys.
All right. All right. Hi, I'm at the ping pong parachute, and the objective of this challenge is to launch an unaltered ping pong ball into the air and keep it aloft for the most amount of time using a parachute that is attached to the ping pong ball using only duct tape. Now, the teams will have a total of 2 launches using the same rocket or 2 different rockets. They will have a maximum of 8 minutes to complete these 2 launches. Now, this is the result of numerous weeks of practice. The data must include 5 or more parameters for 20 or more test flights prior to the competition for each rocket. I've seen some incredible competition today, and it looks like the challenges for these competitors are fierce. It appears that one's about to go off right now. I think we're all hoping for a Tier 3, which is the greatest number of points a team can receive by hitting either the ceiling or a part of the ceiling above me. Let's see how this goes. Oh. Great job today. Back to you in the studio. Thank you.
Back. They're pouring in the sand. It's lasting a pretty long time. They keep pouring. All right. Now we have 2 teammates here, one to pour the sand and one to steady it with the bucket. This is working out great. Their device is holding up Oh. All right. Well, that was the longest one so far. It seems that they have a lot of sand in the bucket. I think this one will definitely weigh the most. The judge is even struggling to pick it up, as you can see. It's a very heavy bucket, so I think that's pretty fierce competition right there. And now we have the second contestant against them now coming up. They're measuring out the bridge, making sure it's level. There are certain standards and requirements that these devices must live up to. And if they fail to do so, they're not afraid to tell them that they can't compete. So, all right, and they're weighing the bucket now. It seemed to hold a lot of sand. I think so far, that was the most I've seen. And it held up for a decent amount of time, too. Not only was it a lot of sand, it was also for a decent amount of time. All right, now it appears that they're getting ready to start the next one soon. Oh, here it goes. And we're on to the second one. All right. They're getting things situated. All right. And like I said earlier, they have someone to steady the bucket as the sand gets poured into the bucket. And we're waiting. They're about to pull the lever, start pouring down the sand. All right, here it goes. And they're going. 3, 2. Oh. All right. And they're going. There they go. So far, decent amount of sand. Will they beat the other ones, though? So far, this device is holding up pretty well. Yeah, very well. Oh, wow. I think that one might be even more than the last one, which I thought the last one was pretty good, but that one, that was excellent. There's a lot of sand in there. All right, we're wrapping that for right now. We'll be back later.
My name is Aiden Collins Peterson, and welcome back to the Mousetrap section of today's Science Olympiad competition.